have put a summary end to the ambitions of many of the great: Napoleon, Hitler, the Sydney Swans. Admittedly, I haven't come here with delusions of conquest, but only to deliver this closing address about love stories. But I am feeling the same sense of unease as Napoleon must have felt when, finally camped in Moscow, he saw the first flames leap up around the Kremlin's fairy tale onion domes, as Kieran Jack presumably felt at the beginning of the third quarter when something came between him and the sun, and it was Ryan Crowley. There are several reasons for my unease. Rainer Maria Rilke was admittedly not a Docker's tagger, but a sort of European equivalent, a German poet, in many respects a charlatan masquerading as a genius, who turned out to be a genius. He cultivated anyone he could sponge off: women, the titled, the rich, or, ideally, rich titled women. Once, according to an account from Kenneth Rexroth, Rilke was leaning gracefully against the mantelpiece in a castle in Switzerland while his devoted duchesses and countesses and other disciples were passionately discussing Goethe's Faust, a discussion in which Rilke was taking no part whatsoever. One of them turned to him and asked, "How do you feel about Faust, master?" To which Rilke answered, "I've never been able to read more than a page of it." In truth, not unlike Rilke, there are many great books and great love stories that I've never been able to get past the first page of, and then there are even more I've never even started. And the more I read, the greater I guess grows the library of unread books. Of all the love stories ever published, I have, realistically, read very few. My despair, then, in realising I'd agreed to talk about love stories for some extended period was great, for I am no expert on love stories. Then there is the matter of love itself. Love, a word so trammelled by overuse as to be almost senseless. We like love, we love love, but perhaps its only meaning lies in its ubiquitous meaninglessness. We apprehend it, we feel it, and we think we know it, yet we cannot say what we mean by it. Like Elvis, love's frequently sighted and in unusual locations. The Bauga KFC, say, carrying several bags of half-eaten chicken nuggets, or the Mirrabooka Hungry Jacks leaning out of a beaten-up Hilux dual cab. But it vanishes at the point at which we seek to authenticate it as real. We bury love under the rubble of other words and sentiments, deluding ourselves that such gravel is gravitas, to make it seem as if we do know what love means. To give you but one example, St. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 13. Its justly famed and poetic evocation of love is perhaps the most popular biblical reading at contemporary wedding ceremonies. Yet, in the Greek original, the word that is commonly translated into English as the word love is the word agape. What agape meant in the ancient world is open to debate. It was about love of spouse or family, and contrasted with the word and idea of philia, which suggested friendship, fraternity, and so on. And with the idea eros, which was sexual attraction. The authors of the King James Bible, following the example of Wycliffe's seminal English translation, chose the word charity as the correct translation of agape. What did St. Paul really want us to think on our wedding days? That the best we could hope for was that our spouses might view us charitably? Or was what he was writing simply beautiful wordplay? Did it mean anything at all? What would happen if we substituted some other word for agape instead of love? What would happen if it had been, say, a football coach...